He's on. Okay. Okay. So I would like to introduce, do you have a slide? Here we go. So Gene Frederick, for those of you that don't know Gene, amazing individual. He's been on a couple of our Zoom calls. Andrew and I have had the privilege of sitting down with him and really getting to know him and his wife, Susan, personally. About Gene, he's a veteran real estate leader since the 1980s. He was a former top agent and office owner at Keller Williams. Amazing man. He joined EXP in 2015. He serves on their board of directors. But his number one claim to fame is that he's passionate. He's a passionate coach and mentor. He helps agents build teams and create passive income. He is probably the number one instigator for recruiting for EXP. Wouldn't you say, honey? There he is. My Gene. I love you, Gene. That's awesome. So we just want to hear what you have to say, hear your wisdom today. We have agents in the room, agents on Zoom. We're very honored to have you here. We know you travel all over the world. You talk to hundreds and hundreds of people, and we're super excited to have you here today.
Oh, thank you very much. Can you all hear me? How's it working? Good?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Okay. Hey, you guys, I'm going to give you some tips today. First of all, they told me I got 15 minutes. I'm excited. If you guys could just give me 15 minutes, I think I can change your life. What does Warren Buffett look for when he's partnering with somebody and buying a company? Do you know? Do you know the 3 criteria he looks for? I'm going to give them to you today. Okay? I'm going to start with number 3. Intelligence. Now, what does intelligence mean? It's not IQ, right? Are you adaptability? Are you adaptable? If you're driving down the road, do you miss the tree? You just don't run into the tree, right? You're adaptable. Number 2, here's what he looks for. Energy. Now, what energy is a healthy bias towards action. Write that down. All right? And to me, healthy action towards the one thing you should be focused on. And I'm going to go over that for you, the one thing you should be focused on today. Well, number 3 and number 2, if you have high intelligence and high energy, it could be pretty bad, right? That kind of describes maybe a criminal if you don't have number 1. Without number 1 is the most important thing. And what Warren Buffett looks for is what? Integrity. All right? Now, what's integrity mean? Of course, we know the 10 Commandments. We know if you feel like you have some morals, it's not just that. It's you must say no to most things. This is really important. If anybody's trying to lose weight, what do you guys got to say no to? That dessert, that sugar, right? And you have to have the discipline to know what the one thing you should be doing most of the time. All right? High integrity is the most important thing. Now, the reason I went over those 3 to you today is when I'm looking to get in business with people, I look for those 3 things. And I want you guys to look for those 3 things too when you're getting in when you're looking for other people to be attracted to EXP. It's not a fit for everyone. Right? Hey, how about if I shared with you guys today how I talk to other agents when I get with them one-on-one? Let's say I have a Coldwell Banker agent across from me. In fact, I had one yesterday, Annette, that was at Coldwell Banker for 20 years.
Wow.
And I said, you have an option. And they go, what's that? I said, and I already know the answer. Guess what? Do you have $1 million in the bank? Saved, cash, not equity in your home, not net worth, but do you have $1 million sitting in the bank making 4.2% in a savings account? You know as well as I do when you talk to agents, what number of agents have $1 million in the bank? Not a lot.
Percent. Andrew says 0.5%.
0.5%. That's exactly right. He knows his numbers. So when I talked to him, I said, well, you have an option. They go, what? I said, you can stay at Coldwell Banker and save $50,000 a year for the next 20 years to save after taxes and save that $1 million, which would produce you $42,000 a year or $3,500 a month. Or, and by the way, during this recession we've had in real estate the last few years, $3,500 per month would keep people in their house payment. I know we're talking to Californians. Maybe that's a surfboard payment. I don't know what you guys are doing. But $3,500 a month coming in regularly, knowing it's coming in, raise your little hand if that would affect your life. I hope a little bit, right? And then I look at him and I go, well, I want to be your partner. They go, what do you mean? I said, I want to be your partner and help you create $1 million in the bank in 3 years. And they go, how do I do that? I said, watch this. I'm going to help you and you're going to give me agents to call because you're going to do business with them. And I'm going to share with you how you do this. And if you could attract 5 agents a month for the next 3 years, that would give you 15 agents on your first level. Do you think you could do that partnering with me? Mm-hmm. And they go, yeah. And I said, I know my numbers. Those 15 agents on your first level within 3 years will turn into 30 agents on your second level. It will happen, guys. It's like magic. Right? That's only 2 agents per agent on your first.
Hold on a second. Gene, Andrew, let me give you a microphone.
Okay.
He said 5 a month or 5 a year, Gene?
5 a year. Did I say 5 a
a year.
month? Maybe I was talking to Andrew. No, I'm just kidding. I was talking to you, Andrew. I'm sorry. 5 per year. I'm sorry. You're so fun. 5 per year. So in 3 years, you have 15 agents. Every agent tells me, yes, I could do that. I mean, if you're selling 20 homes a year, 30 homes a year, whatever it is, you're in contact with these agents. So we're going to attract 5 anywhere in the nation. Doesn't have to be in your hometown. It can be anywhere. Those 15 in 3 years will turn into 30 in 3 years on your second level. And on your third level, you'll have 15 on your third level. I only go 3 levels. As you guys know, we have 7 levels in our revenue share system. But the first 3 levels, ladies and gentlemen, are all open to every single person sitting on this call today. Mm-hmm. The minute you're an agent with us, there is no requirement for the first 3 levels.
Right.
Okay? Now I times that out for them. And I said, if all 15 plus 30 plus 15, that's 60 agents. If all 60 agents were cappers, I mean, they all gave 16,000 in, that would be $84,000 a year, double what I was telling you. So let's just assume they're all half cappers. Mm-hmm. That would be $42,000 a year, $3,500 a month. And all you need to do is partner with me and my team and Annette, and we'll all help you. I mean, we're all going to help you do it. I have partners, we'll do it for you. And in 3 years, you can go back to your partner and say, guess what, honey? Guess what? We've got $1 million in the bank at 4.2%. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm doing for agents across the nation. And then I looked back at him and I said, well, now again, it's just an option. You do what you want to do. There's no option. But I think it's easier to go attract 5 agents a year than save $1 million over the next 20 years.
You know, Gene, I was talking to Eddie, our insurance guy, on the way into the training today. And we were talking about recruiting. And Eddie said, have you guys ever done a training on recruiting? And I said, no. And now you're talking about this. And so now, Eddie, thanks to you, how many of you would be interested in attending a training where we train on recruiting? How to recruit. So we're going to make that happen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hold on a second. Andrew's saying something. Yes.
Gene, so I've dealt with a lot of high net worth people in my career. I think I'm up to 3,126 homes I've personally sold. And a lot of people have been very wealthy. And the interesting thing to me is that I meet people who have $1 million, 2 million, some of them 50 million. We won't even talk about you because you're just a rich dog. But people with a lot of money in the bank, Gene. Here's something I've found. They've got money in the bank, but they want revenue. They want income every month. And a lot of them, you see they're living a conservative lifestyle because it's like, well, honey, we've just got this much interest coming in this year. We need to downsize our car. So I've had many clients with 10 million in the bank who are trying to downsize their car because they're worried about income every month. So what you're offering is actually completely different. I understand the parity, but it's different because it's a revenue that just keeps on coming and you can save on that revenue. And you can grow that revenue way faster than waiting another 20 years to acquire another $1 million. So I just think it was an important piece to stress. A lot of people who don't have $1 million think when I got $1 million, it's easy street. It's not, because now you got to ask yourself, how do I create revenue every month? And it's not enough to rely on the interest. So yes, please do this with us. Blake, who's joined us recently, is sitting here in the front row. There's several people here who just want to be a part of growing this, Gene.
Yes.
So yes.
Yes. Blake, you and I will coordinate that.
Well, let me share with let me share with you guys. Hold on. Let me share with you why I thought of this. I was in a seminar a couple of years ago, and why I look at it this way. Everybody thinks monthly income, just like Andrew was talking about. And we were at a seminar, and people described the financial crisis they went through in 2007, 2008, 2009. And guess what everybody said at the seminar? Where was all of their money, Andrew? What did they have to sell? Their houses. All their equity was in their houses. Now, there's a difference between cash flow, like Andrew was saying, and net worth. The word net worth is a crazy word, but if net worth is all in your houses and all of a sudden no income is coming in, what do you have to do? Every single person at the seminar that talked said, I sold my house. I sold my house. I sold my house. I went, wow, it hit me. All of their equity was in their homes. All right. Now, if I can, guys, in the next 4 years, write this down. In the next 4 years, EXP will pay out in revenue share to us, to the agents. It's called revenue share. $1 billion. Just $1 billion. That's all. 4 years. That's all. Just $1 billion. I think in the next 4 years after that, it'll be close to $2 billion because we'll start expanding again when the market comes back. I look at this and go, I've never been at a company that allows us to get the owner's money because we're helping attract agents to the company. Let me give you a technique. Can I give them one technique they can do instantly?
Please.
I'll do a little teaching right now, and I'll come back, and I guarantee you, they gave me 15 minutes, which if you know me, that's like torture.
I know.
Because I could talk forever. Mainly because I want to help you guys. I wake up every day wanting real estate agents to have a life, not just on the hamster wheel. I'm going to teach you a technique you could do tomorrow, that will help you get 5 agents in a year. Here's what you do. I want you to call the agents that you've worked with all this year. Doesn't matter if you closed on a home with them or if you did an offer and it didn't work. That was still a relationship you had for a short amount of time. I want you to call them in the next month, and you can do this every day, call 5 agents. You can call an agent, and I want you to say this. Hey, Andrew, it was awesome working with you on 1922 Big Sky. I'm glad we got that closed in May. I have a small gift of appreciation I would love to give you on Tuesday at the Starbucks, on Hollywood Avenue. Can we meet at Starbucks at 8 o'clock? I want to give you a small gift to just say thank you. You know what? We never get to meet the agents anymore. It was so much fun working with you. Okay. How many people will accept a gift?
All.
100%. How many people will show up? 100%.
Yes.
Okay. This is a technique I've been teaching forever. You don't have to have closed a home with them. This is a misnomer. You just had to have, maybe you worked 3 offers and one of them worked and 2 didn't. I'd call all 3 agents. I'd call the 2 agents that I didn't work and say, it's so sorry it didn't work, but you know what? I just want to give you a small gift because we worked hard this year, 2025. Okay. You meet them at Starbucks at 8 o'clock. And here's what you do. I've got to go get a prop. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. You go, you know what? Because everybody says, what do I give them?
Wait, hold it up. I got to take a picture of that. Hold on. There we go. Okay.
Okay, I wrote a book. It's the first week, Andrew. It's number 68 on the top 100 in USA Today.
Congratulations.
Now,
Everybody's
the reason
clapping. That's awesome.
thank you guys. What I did, it's an entrepreneur book, but guess what? Guess who wrote the foreword? Oh, some guy named Glenn Sanford. Now, it's not an EXP book. It's an entrepreneur book. They'll all love it. You could give it out to your mortgage people, give it out to whatever. When I say that, it's different. We're not giving out rich dad, poor dad. Right? Now, when I say that, now you know me. You've seen me. We'll have more classes like this so you can understand where I'm coming from. You give them the book and go, you know what? This is a guy that started at EXP 10 and a half years ago, and now he's living in Puerto Rico. And 19 other EXP agents have moved to Puerto Rico because we're making too much in what? Rev share.
Revenue share.
Okay. Now, you do that. Don't try to recruit them to EXP at that time. They're going to expect it. Don't do it. Here's the most important thing. Be authentic. Be who you are. I've never known anybody, everybody's different. Everybody talks different. We've all just talk real estate, talk kids, talk the beach. I don't know what you guys talk anything. If they ask about EXP, say, oh, that's great. I'm so glad. You know what? I didn't come to talk about EXP today. Why don't I set you up another appointment? Andrew and Gene will meet with you on Thursday and we'll explain everything to you. Let us do the presentation for you. Why do you want to do that? Because you want to see us do it over and over and over. You'll see me do it over. I've been doing this for 10 and a half years at EXP. Do you guys know when I started at EXP, there were only 400 agents?
Amazing.
It's about as big as your guys' team now.
Yeah, right.
So what I did was I brought what I did at Keller Williams for 21 years. When I say that, I recruited at Keller Williams. I just brought the same techniques over here. I just have a better product to talk about because I never had $4 billion in 4 years to give to agents.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You just want a little bit of it. Okay? Now, if I was all, you guys have seen it in my classes or you read my book and you want to go attract 5 agents every year for the next 3 years, set a goal for 20 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Set a goal for 20 a year, and guess what? You'll end up getting 10 a year. In other words, don't set a goal for 5. I do a lot on goal setting. I'll send you a little bit on it, but I've never hit any of my goals at EXP, and I'm the #1 rev share earner. But I've never hit any of my goals because my goals are just way out there. I can't wait for them.
You need to quit slacking, Gene.
I know I do. But does that help you guys? Raise your hand if it helps you a little bit this morning. As you're selling homes, thank you. This made my life, this makes me feel good. Because as you're selling homes, you're going to be selling homes. You're churning the wheel. You're going to run into agents all day long at open houses everywhere. Be yourself, by the way, have a lot of integrity. If you have a lot of integrity, they'll be attracted to you, right? If you have a lot of energy, they're attracted to you, right? If you have a lot of intelligence, which means not high IQ. I wasn't the valedictorian in my high school. I don't know about you guys. I wasn't. I'm not going to tell you my GPA in college, okay? I think I graduated in intramurals. So bottom line is, guys, go after it. I'll help you. I'm your partner. That's what I want you to, the words you want to use, you don't use words like sponsor. no, don't use that word. I want to partner with you, right? This is our team. This is our group. You can go to genefrederick.com and look at my website. We're all the people on there. I've got staff. We will help you do it. I've got paid staff. I've got like 5 paid staff members. We'll help you do everything.
Wonderful. That's wonderful.
Blake,
Did I
this
go
is-
past
this
15
is-
minutes? How'd I
This is
do?
a power
You're
tool
doing
we
great.
have on our side. You got people in the room like Color, who's a great attractor. Angelica is an attractor. There's people here, Teresa, who are great attractors. Just connect with Annette, and this guy is a powerhouse. Watch this. I just want to give you an idea of scale here, okay? So there's a lot of flashy out there, right? You can even learn to be a rapper. No knock, but people don't need rappers. They need people going to put money in the bank. So I'm going to ask a little bit of a provocative question. I'm going to ask Gene a provocative question that I'm going to completely embarrass him. And I'm going to ask you, sir, to give me a yes or no answer to the question. And I already know you're going to say no. So here it comes. In this room, how many people in this room are online? And I want to ask those of you who are online, a ton of you, to say in the chat, yes or no. How many of you know how much money you have in your bank account? If it's a yes, raise your hand. Right? Online, if it's a yes, raise your hand. Right? Put your hand down, Gene. You're ruining my story. Now I'm going to ask you a second question. How many of you know your net worth? All right? Online. Who's saying yes online? How many of you know your net worth? That means the value of all of your assets, all of your investments, all of your real estate, all of your cash, all of your shares, all of your holdings. Subtract all of your liabilities, including an expensive wife, deduct it all, and you come up with a net figure. That's your net worth. And if you're saying you know that, you're lying. Right? But for a lot of us, we all know how much we've got. Why? Because we're always trying to get more. Right? Something happens when you become filthy rich. And here comes the answer. Watch this. Gene, honestly, big guy, do you know your net worth?
I don't know my net worth at all.
Every
No.
single time you meet somebody filthy rich, they don't
No.
know. Because
I
they've
don't know
gone
that-
past that point.
The only reason I know how much cash I have is because I met with my finance person yesterday. That's the only reason. And really, quite honestly, the net worth thing is way out of whack. That's what happened. Remember when I went to that seminar and the people had to sell their homes?
Of course. But the point, everybody understands the point, right? We spend our lives just trying to get a little bit more and a little bit more. Why don't we shift our mindset? We all know it's been a tough few years in real estate, but there's great years coming. Why don't we shift our mindset now and say, I want to think like Gene Frederick does.
Yeah.
I don't even think about my net worth. All I know is it's way more than I need. And now all I want to do is help other people get there. How many would like to be in
Yes.
that position?
Well, one of the things I love about Gene is that is his mantra. His mantra is helping others achieve what they want to achieve. And in turn, he's rewarded for that, right? It's give to give, not give to get.
Gene, we appreciate you immensely. Let's everybody give a hoot.
Yeah. We'll be in touch with you
We
very
appreciate
soon.
you.
Blake,
Thank you so much, sir.
Or something.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
Gene.
Gene.
Thank
Be
you so
good.
much.
Love you all. Be
We
good.
love you.
That is one powerful guy
Yes, he is.
that will help us grow as much as you want to grow.
Yeah.
What would you like to do next, Lev?
So I think you and Blake should talk about the market.
All right, let's do that.
Let's do that.
Market.
I'm going to bring up some numbers. I am
Let's do it.
afraid we don't have a mic stand, which I know is a little crazy. So I'm going to need somebody to sit next to me and hold the mic.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So how many folks are there who have joined this today? There's a bunch of you, 52 of you online. Everybody in the room, thank you for coming today. What's the primary thing you want to get out of this today? What's the number one thing you want to get? You know why I ask you that? Because if you don't know what you want, you're never going to get it.
100%.
Hmm? What's the number one thing you want? Put your phones down for a second. Just take your phones, turn it down. Nobody's got so much business going right now that you're going to die if you put your phone down. So just put your phone down right now. What's the number one thing you want today? Because if you don't have it and you're coming just to sit there for 30 minutes, you're not going to get anything out of it. What's the number one thing you want? Huh? Padres?
Progress.
Progress. All right, define. I hate to inform you the Dodgers just won the World Series. What's the number? You know what? Do you realize this is why relationships die? Because people don't define what they want. I pastored in pastoring. I counseled over 600 couples. It was interesting counseling with me because I basically told you were full of shit. And I would say, look, just don't waste my time. Do you want to be married to this person or not? And if they didn't want to be, I would say, okay, leave. See ya. And if they said yes, but we're having a hard time, I'd say, okay, now we've got something to talk about. So it's extremely important. You want to keep a relationship alive. What do you want? I know exactly what I want out of Annette. She knows exactly what she wants out of me.
You even defined some more this morning.
Yep. We text each other
text
at least 4 or 5 times a week. Sometimes it's not very pretty.
And what did I respond?
Basically.
Do you remember what I said?
Yes, yes, and double yes was the, if I don't remember the exact words, but.
It has to be reciprocal, right? So if
Yes.
one person says something, then the other person has to acknowledge that, just like we train and teach them with the agents, right? You acknowledge what they say first, then you respond. I said, I'm all in. I'm ready for this. Let's go.
So what do you want?
Conversion.
Information, motivation, inspiration. What else? What do you want? Because if you don't know what you want, you'll end up exactly with what you've got. I want to feel heard. What else? What do you want? That's it.
More escrows.
It's like 70 people altogether.
Escrows.
Escrows? Okay. What else do you want? More money. Now I'm hearing it. If you can't say it, you're not going to get it. Did you know that? It's a life principle.
I agree 100%. You'll hear me talk about my Lamborghini. Almost every day I talk about it.
Like,
You want what? Be more impactful. All right? Sounds good. What do you want? Eddie wants to sell his company for, I think it's 20 mil. Is it Eddie wants to sell his company for 20 mil. What do you want? I don't know. I'm busy. What do you want online?
Passive.
Did you communicate with us? What does it say online here? What do we got? Increased knowledge in the real estate business. Can you show I'll show it here in chat. Increased knowledge in
That's behind you.
Huh? All right, let's have a look. What else is there? Help me out here, Blake.
Financial freedom. Grow and create urgency. Passive income. That's with revenue shared.
Yep.
Mindset. Convert. Be a mountain for those around me. I like that.
I love that too. Mindset, convert. Okay. Success, freedom. All right. So now I'm going to ask you a second question. How are you going to get that in the real estate business? You're saying what you want. There's 75 people or so who can hear my voice right now. How are you going to get that in the real estate business? That's what you want.
Eddie says escrow in my Porsche.
How are you going to get that in real estate? Well, thank you, America. Learn from me and take action. There you go. How are you going to get it in the real estate business? You want passive income. You want to increase knowledge in the real estate. I want to be a mountain. I want, financial freedom. All right, Jonathan, take action and keep pushing. Sherry, to achieve good debt and have less debt, I think you mean, passive income as well as monthly successful business. How are you going to achieve this in the real estate business?
Revenue share.
Yes.
Escrows.
accountability.
Accountability. Oh my God.
All right. All right.
Crazy. Crazy word.
You see where I'm going with this, right? I see what you want. I see what you want, what you really, really want, what you want, what you want, what you really, really want.
Oh my
How
gosh.
you going to get it?
Tell me we're recording this.
How are you going to get it? Come on, guys. Come alive for me
Jeff.
here. You just heard, would Warren Buffett buy you? Let me ask you a question. Would Warren Buffett buy you? What does Warren Buffett want? 3 things. Come on. Did anybody listen to Gene? What were the 3 things Warren Buffett buys?
Intelligence.
Intelligence. What else?
Energy.
Integrity and energy.
Integrity.
And I just said, what do you want? What do you really, really want? You looked at me like this. right?
It's a really funny GIF.
So what does Warren buy? Energy. So you just said what you want. When you go home, does your boyfriend, your husband, your kids go, here comes mommy, look at her energy. Look at her go. Hmm? Do your clients see it when you get out of the car? Hi, I'm in color. Oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. Let's go find you a home. Or do you have to wipe off your finger because you were just picking your nose in the car? Right? Energy. What does Warren buy? He buys energy. So I asked you, what do you want? Right? So then I said, if that's what you want, how are you going to get that in real estate? So show me your energy. I'm Warren. I want to buy you. How much are you worth, Teresa? So what's the formula on how much you're worth? How much are you worth to your partner, for example? And if you don't have a partner, how much are you worth to your partner? Priceless? Do they think that way? All right, so I know we're going a little deep here, but you understand where I'm going, right? We're about to see this real estate market turn around. We're looking to inspire you with energy that you can benefit from the next upturn. How many of you know that this downturn really sucked?
Oh, yeah.
Yes or no? Let's see some energy in the room. Yes or no? But here's the point. You can only get back at the last few years if you're full of energy when it turns back up. And what happens is, because this is going to be my, how many times now, Doug? I'm just trying to think through the presidents. This is my fourth time. One of those times I missed the up because my energy wasn't up when it turned. So what we want to do is to inform you and give you the knowledge so your energy goes up, so your expectation goes up, so as the market goes up, you're a part of it. Have I made sense to anybody yet today? Anybody got any comments or questions? So we're going to give you some knowledge, and then I'm going to talk about workflow, because you all said you want more deals. I would say of all the homes that I've sold, the two primary ways that I've always created more deals is my intelligence, because I always know what's going on. And Annette's saying yes because she's lived with me for decades, is my intelligence, and the second is my workflow. Now, you're hearing a lot about workflow with agentic AI these days. And AI is essentially, over the next 20 years, kids, is going to take over workflows on a planetary basis. And that is going to cause huge changes in our society. But workflows, you don't need flash, you need workflow. So now when I'm going to listen to somebody about AI, I don't want to hear what it could do, what it will be, what it might be. I want to hear, how do you give me a workflow that's going to change my escrows, that's going to get me more listings, that's going to get me more followers? How do I do it? And I absolutely assure you that if I go out there and start jumping over houses backwards, naked on Sora, and I get 1 million followers, I don't need those followers. I just don't want it to be on my epitaph, acted like a fool but had 1 million followers. Not interesting to me. Don't even need that money. We want to be known for who we are and something that's valuable. Am I right or not? Absolutely. Two things you need. One, intelligence, right? And the second is, with that intelligence, combine it with a workflow. So I'm going to talk to you about intelligence and workflow, and I want you just to cut in and interrupt as I go. At any time, just interrupt. Yeah, anything you want to say so far? Are we good to go?
Nope.
So I'm going to go to share screen, and I want to give you some information so that you know what's going on. And again, I'd like you to interact, and Cam, if you would, bud, just team up with me here. Let me know what people say and yell it out. Do you have a spare microphone that they can hear you as well? Because people like you, and they want to know about you. So, questions. You can help me out here. Is the market going up or down? Let's see some responses. Cameron, let people know. Let me know. Is the market going up or down? Answer the question. Let me hear from you
Yep.
guys. Energy. Warren Buffett
Depends on-
buys energy.
Depends on how you look at it, but
Is it going up or down? I'm a buyer. And I say to you, I think the market's going down. I don't want to buy.
no, it's going up.
Jonathan said down.
Interest rates going down means
Come on, talk
we're gonna
about
go up.
the conversation.
John said up. Tim said down. Sherry said depends on the market.
Yeah, it does depend on the market, right? But it's a mirror effect, right? So if interest rates go down, what typically happens to the price of the house? Are we predicted to see interest rates go up or down? What does that mean for the market?
All right. Bottom line is the market. Can you hold it just like that? And I want it to hurt so bad that you remind Cameron to buy a mic stand. Is the market
Cameron, buy a mic stand.
is the market going up or down? You're going to meet buyers this week. We met this last month. Do you know how many buyers? Take a guess how many buyers we met this last month. Yeah, it's pretty damn close to 1,000 buyers on this team last month. Now, we right now just put nearly 30 properties in escrow over the last 18 or 19 days, which is fantastic. Do you realize we could have put in at least 120? What is it that's the missing piece? Energy and workflow.
Yep.
Intelligence and workflow. So if we give you intelligence and workflow, and there is a caveat to this, because I know a lot of people are hurting, so you're delivering food for a living. And I'm not knocking that. I'm proud of you that at least you're willing to do it. But if you set aside all those side hustles, for you to really excel, it's going to take energy and workflow. It's going to take intelligence and workflow. So you have to know what you're talking about. So here we go. So I'm going to put my hands up here. It's going to be really difficult. And you're going to hate doing this, but that's why they make mic stands. They're $19.99 at a store 3 minutes away from here. So here we go. If you all can hear me, great. If you can't, please remind somebody to buy a mic stand. So here we go. Name me an area where you do business.
San Diego.
So let's look at San Diego. Let's look at San Diego County. Let's have a look at active listings. Active listings in San Diego County, there were 8,106 of them. 8,106 in June. And in June 2 years ago, there were 3,806. What did you just learn from that? Anybody learn anything from that? So you're meeting your buyer.
More inventory.
Take some notes, guys. You need this information. Come on. Energy. Energy. There were 3,800 listings in San Diego 2 years ago. Now there's 8,100. When there's more of something, does it sell for more or less?
Less.
So if you're speaking to a seller, you're going to give them that one fact. There were 3,800 listings in San Diego 2 years ago.
But let's do
I
this.
think I have a question.
Yes, questions. Hit me up. I'm going to train you here today. I'm not going to teach you how to rap. I'm going to teach you about real estate. Okay? Anybody want to learn about real estate? Show some energy.
Yes.
So we know you want to compare that. For example, you go, well, Andrew, that's San Diego County. Why don't we try Los Angeles? Let's take Los Angeles County. In June of 23, there were 10,566 listings. In June of this year, there were 18,420 listings. No, that's Los Angeles County. 8,000 more listings. Fact. Now, do you notice that the graph is dropping off here? Why is that? You need to know this.
Supply and demand.
Intelligence. Why is the number dropping off in the last 2 months? Show me your intelligence. Because the sellers aren't selling at the price point that they think, here it comes, that their house is worth. What is worth? Worth is what a buyer and seller agree to pay for something. So part of your intelligence has to show them, hey, 8,000 people more wanted to sell their home and found that the peak of the market has gone. The next thing you're going to do is show them the cycle of real estate in California. You go, Andrew, how the heck? By the way, is anybody interested in what I'm saying? If you are, say yes. So let's go up here and let's look in Google and say, show me the real estate cycles in California for the last 100 years. And you're going to get under images a bunch of graphs. And in those graphs, you're going to see these cycles. By the way, Bay Area's housing market cycles in San Francisco. Where's this? This is also Bay Area. What's this? Bay Area. Southern California home prices, Orange County. Years of Bay Area real estate cycles. I don't know why Bay Area always comes up first, mainly because that's where all the California home buying. Let's have a look. Median price, sales price. So all kinds of stats in here, but there's something I want to show you. California housing market graph over 50 years. Do you see these cycles? You see this? What you want to show people is, please, if you miss the top of the cycle, never in the last 100 years has that cycle changed in 6 months. The only time it's changed more than 10% in 6 months was in 2007 when the market dropped 25% in 11 months. So, Mr. Seller, never in the last 100 years has the market changed 10% from down to up, boop, boop, in 100 years. Most real estate cycles in California last how long? 5 to 7 years. The cycles are longer now because the social crises that happen like COVID are so radical, right? But basically the real estate cycles, it's fair to say, are around 10 years. So I would look at color and say, if you don't mind me asking, and you don't have to answer the question, how old will you be in 10 years? Are you okay, color, are you okay being in this house at that age 10 years from now? Right. But unfortunately, 100 years proves your house is not going to be worth more for 10 years. So we've got two choices. Either you get used to the fact you're going to be living here in 10 years, or we come up with a strategy together where the money that you don't make on the sale, you do make on your purchase. So we swap equity dollars. Now, does anybody feel more intelligent now? Did you get that? So the only time that people are in a pickle, Doug, and you know this, my mate, is if they sell it for less and they're getting out of the real estate market. That sucks. Or if you sell for less in a market like LA and you go to somewhere like Mississippi and the values are 50% of here, then in your equity swap, you lose 50% of your equity swap. But do you lose something you don't have? Can you lose a wife you're not married to? And they're married to a price they don't have. It's somebody else's wife. Somebody else sold that wife, horrible analogy, but somebody else sold that house and you didn't. Now let's just deal with reality and say, what do we want to do with the next 10 years of our life? Is this intelligent, what I'm sharing with you?
Absolutely.
I've always sold homes because I've shown intelligence. So I'm happy to share that intelligence with you. Are you interested in learning? So I'd like to go back here now to InfoSparks. Where did it go? It's in here somewhere, guys. Help me out. Down in here, I think it's up in here. Here. Where are we? Right. So, and I'm just going to be on this for like just a few more minutes. There's more active listings. Now, what about sales prices? Are they going down? Let's look at sales prices. This is very, very, very interesting. Is inventory going up? Yes. Are sales prices going up? No. Now, have a look. I know, and I'm going to explain why in a minute. Watch. Do you see back in October of 23, 880 median sales price? In October of 24, 840. In October of 25, 835. Pretty steady, right? Now, notice that's the entire MLS. Now let's look at LA, and it basically mirrors the same. Do you see this? Now, why is that? And I'm going to tell you why that is. I'm going to tell you. Do you know why it is? Go ahead, Cliff. Okay, you don't have a mic, and there's lots.
Over the last few years, we've had some serious resistance line pushed down because of the low interest rates, and people have through.
Okay, so I'm going to cut you short because it's not a lecture, it's a comment. So your comment is very strong. It is that we have hit, and in stock market terms, you hit what's called a resistance line. You have double tops, triple tops, double dips, stochastics, sideways movement. There's all kinds of, which Cliff and I are both familiar with. We've hit a resistance line in California. That resistance line is determined by affordability, right? So because of affordability, Cliff's 1,000% right, we've hit a resistance line. But there's another reason I'm going to tell you right now for the sake of time. He's got a lot to share with you this morning. The reason why these stats are not yet showing it is because all the people who couldn't get their price took their home off the market. But I will tell you from experience, what happens is you reach this point in a society where people go, damn it, the market's changed, I need to sell. And once people actually start selling their homes, you're going to see a huge dip in the pricing. I personally am expecting somewhere between 20 and 25% decline in California prices. Now, I may be right, I may be wrong. But I will tell you something, when you see inventory going up like this, and the only out people have is to take their home off the market, life goes on. People live, people die. Women get pregnant, children need rooms, people have job changes. So what you're going to see over the next year or two is a change. You're going to see a change in consumer confidence. You're going to see a change in house prices. You're going to see a change in interest rates. You're going to see a change in affordability, and it's a tremendous opportunity for us. But right now, you need to know how to speak to buyers and sellers, right? So if you're speaking to a buyer and the buyer says, I want to wait for the prices to go down, right? Do you know in your heart that prices are going to go down? Yes or no? They are going to go down. Somebody says to me, I want to wait, the prices are going to go down. I'm going to say, you're absolutely right. Prices probably are going to go down. But last time I checked, eternal life only belongs to one person. It ain't your buyer. So everybody has a life span. Some of us are reaching the end of it. Some of you are in the middle of it. So a huge part of my intelligence in selling is helping people to realize the value of their life. So when somebody looks at me and says, I need to move because my children need to be in better schools, and then they say, oh, we think house prices are going to go down, I will say, what is more valuable? Your children being in a good school or saving 5% on the house price? And I've yet to meet a father or mother who looks me in the eyes and says, 5% on my house price is more important than my children. Now, the only way you can get to that conversation is if you ask how, what, why, when, where, and find out why they're buying, what they're buying, how soon they want to be in there, what their reasoning is. Is everybody with me? Okay. All right. So I want to show you statistically what is happening in the marketplace, and you need to be aware of it, and don't be afraid of it. Do not lie. What did Gene say? People need to be genuine, authentic. Our agent's authentic. When I come to you, Doug, as a buyer, and I say, I think prices are going to go down, and you look at me and say, it's a great time to buy. Is Doug being authentic? I would say to you, no. I would not call Doug a second time. Did you hear me? How many of you get ghosted? Can I see a show of hands? How many of you get ghosted? How many of you say to people, it's a great time to buy? Be honest. Raise your hands. That's why you're getting ghosted. They want genuine people. I get the market goes through cycles. What's another, and I'm going to move on to something else in a minute here. What's another intelligent fact you need to share with people about whether a market is going up or down? How do you get equity? How do you get equity? Online. Are people interacting? Cameron, Lorena, you both are sitting there. Is anybody interacting? Nobody's interacting.
A few different ways, right?
How valuable are you? You're valuable by your energy. What is your energy as you listen to me? What is your intelligence? Is your intelligence completely stuck? Or is your intelligence emerging? So I'm asking you to be intelligent. How do people get equity? To realize equity, all right, so this is a spendable equity. Actually, you can spend it when you haven't sold, John, if you think about it, you get a yes. But you have to sell to materialize it in cash. Very intelligent.
You have to own a house.
All right, now, so what Joe said was buy low, sell high. Now, because of get rich, think quick thinking, and I'm not saying that of you, I understand you're a developer and all that you've done, but we have a society that kids are going on Instagram, which is great. Hey, I've got an AI agent and I make $1,000 a day, and everybody wants $1,000 a day so they can wear, pimp duds and have a pimp car. And I like pimp cars, but you get my point. Here's my point. People think the first way to get equity is buy low, sell high. What number of people do you know who bought at the lowest and sold at the highest? How many of you know somebody like that? Very, very few. How many of you know somebody who got equity the main way? What's equity the main way? Okay, so now I heard intelligence. The primary way to get equity is what? Yes, just own it and make the mortgage payment. So if somebody waits 10 years, in 10 years, they've got to start a 30-year mortgage. So you look at them. I ask all my clients how old they are, all of them. We're dealing with a client right now. Took us out to dinner, wants us to find them $1.5 million home, sell a home for $800,000, sell a home for $600,000. That's what they want to do. And I looked at them at dinner over here at Alex's place, and I said, how old are you? And they dropped their eyes. I said, how old are you? So they told us. I said, okay. So do you want to own your home like outright when you retire? Yes. Okay. So you're 44. So if you wait 10 years for the market to go up to get you a price that you want on those two homes you're going to sell, and you would now originate another loan, you will pay it off at 94. Is that okay? The primary way that people gain equity is not by the market swings, it's just by paying off the house. It's not fashionable, it's just true. And on the amortization tables in your first 10 years, you're paying mainly interest and not principal. The next 10 years, it's principal interest. The next 10 years, it's interest principal. So every time you refi, you're prolonging when you retire. So when somebody says to you, I want to make it the market to right, say, would you consider thinking about it differently? 5 years from now, you'll have paid off a chunk of your house. What I want to do is help you pay off a chunk of your house. Are you willing to make one extra payment a year? Did you know you can take 4 years off a 30-year mortgage by making one extra payment a year? Do I sound intelligent?
Yes.
Is that more trusting than, and I'm not saying you would ever say this because you wouldn't, is it a great time to buy? Yeah, it's a great time to buy. Is it a great time to sell because I got a house to sell? Yeah, it's a great time to sell. Would you please decide which is it? Because the minute you say to somebody it's a great time to buy and they say they got a house to sell, how can you tell them it's a great time to sell? And the minute you tell them it's a great time to sell and they want to buy a house afterwards, why? You get my point. Can't be both. That's why dual agency is a lie. Okay. So this is intelligence. Go ahead.
That's amazing. Yeah, there was a saying that was, "Don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and then wait." And I think that kind of attests to what Andrew's saying here, right? Just owning the house is the play. That's what's going to help you build that equity, and you can start now versus in 5 years.
Andrew, is it when you say the question comes up as a great time to buy, wouldn't you want to just rephrase that and put it back to him? It's like, it depends on you.
So Doug nailed it.
The salesman in me wanted to say that so bad.
Doug nailed it. He said, Andrew, if somebody says to you, is it a great time to buy? Why wouldn't you just gently push it back to them and say, it depends on you. It's those two words that are so important. It depends on you. So think about, Kathy, what you're going to do with Steve the next few years. Is it a great time for you to buy? No. Why would you buy? Right? But your neighbor in the same development could answer yes. So it's not the market that determines your life. It's you that determines your life. That's what you have to understand. It's not the White House that determines what's important in your life. It's your house that determines what's important in your life. So Doug nailed it when somebody says to you, is it a great time to buy? Cliff, I am so grateful you asked me that question. And I want to answer it with integrity. It depends entirely on you, my friend. What are you planning to do with this new house? Well, if I was your kid and I was 15 and I hid under a desk every day at the top of a 15th century school because I was afraid of being raped in the butt, which is exactly how I grew up. Exactly how I grew up.
I think they were kind of just caught off guard with that comment.
Exactly how I grew up. I would sit in the fanciest schools you could imagine, and the guys who wanted to rape me were best friends with one of the teachers who was gay. And they would throw used condoms at me while I studied for my degree. And you wonder why I'm tough? Now, if my parents had said, we can move you out of this school, would I have cared whether the market was going up or down? But I didn't dare tell my parents because they grew up poor. And I was going to school with lords and ladies and their privileged children who thought they could do anything to me. So Doug's point is 1,000% accurate. Is it a good time to buy? Cliff, I am so glad you asked me this question. It depends on you, sir. What do you want? Now, this couple that we went out to dinner with said, we need to move because our oldest is 11, and we all know when they hit adolescence, they're not going to want to talk to us, and we want to play with them for a few more years till they think we're old. Do you think they really care? They're just finding every way possible to manipulate the market for their primary objective. What's their primary objective? Their children. So when you meet somebody, find out what their primary objective is. Are we all on the same page?
Yes.
Has anybody grown in intelligence this morning?
Yes.
Sorry, I don't have an earring and I can't rap, but I'm intelligent.
I don't know. You can rap. We've heard you rap.
Okay. So now come with me. By the way, Gene, never heard him rap. Is he intelligent? By the way, I want you to know this. 10 years ago when he started, he was worth about $5 million. 10 years. Today he's worth over $500 million. Never seen him rap in my life. But he's bloody intelligent. I believe our society needs to revere intelligence more. And the more America gets intelligent, the less obnoxious we'll become. Because it's intelligence to be at peace. It's intelligent to find unity. It's intelligent to find harmony. It's intelligent to find agreement. So intelligence is what will make you money. As long as I'm alive, I'll share my intelligence with you if you'd like to hear it. All right. So now we're going to go over to We said the first piece is to be valuable, you need intelligence. The second piece you need to be valuable to Warren Buffett is
Energy.
energy, right? So energy is what creates your workflow. And I want you all to write down the word workflow. How many of you have heard you need to nurture? Let me see a show of hands. Can everybody interact with me online? You never want to hear that again, do you? Sick of it. How many of you heard you need to use your CRM? Can I see a show of hands? You never want to hear me say it again. You're sick of it. Right? All of those things, nurture, CRM, digital footprint, all of it basically comes down to one thing. It's workflow. So I want you to think of water. Think of water in a stream. I want you to imagine. Would everybody imagine it for just a second? I would play water on the screen, but then some of you girls would need to piddle because as soon as we hear
I was about to say, I gotta go to the bathroom. Now you're talking about water.
Said he would have to go.
I'm just going back.
I guess.
So watch. You know how you watch a stream and the water sort of bubbles over rocks and so on and so forth, and there's pretty little green things that grow in the water. You might see a little minnow, and it's really good, right? How many of you like streams like that? Right? That's your real estate business right now. In fact, because the market's been tough, you kind of have grown to love that stream, and so you've taken on Uber and other things to compensate for the fact there's just not enough water in that stream to grow a crop. But it's a stream. Don't knock it. Don't knock it. But you need some otters, because otters create dams. When you create dams, you amass more water and you can point the water in other directions. That's what we're trying to help you do. We're amassing a dam of leads so we can turn your stream into a river. How many of you have a stream that you want to convert into a river? Can I see? It's like, guys and girls, does anybody know what a man wants from you? Okay, good. Okay. Does any girl know a guy where once a week is enough? So the point is, you can have a stream. You can have a stream. Men want a river. Now let me ask you another question. Girls, how many of you own shoes? How many of your husbands think you've got enough shoes? Exactly. But how many of you think you got enough shoes? No, because you don't want a stream. You want a river of shoes. A river of shoes. Look, my point is this. Do you want a stream in your business or you want a river?
River.
All right. So rivers take energy. How much energy are you going to put in? So energy creates workflow. And I'm going to tell you flat out, because I look at Follow Up Boss, I look at the calls, I look at the texts. Most people on this team need to 4x your energy. Why are we getting Kathy involved and Blake involved in the daily wealth tracker? Because we want you to track what you're doing that will create wealth. Do you want a stream or do you want a river? Now, again, and people get mad, people bless the team because I've said this, but it's true. If you've got a retirement income, or if you've got a wife or a husband who makes enough money that you really don't need to do this, you will probably always just have a stream. When you look at all the people who are real influencers online, the ones that generate money, most of them needed money. So if you don't need money, you've got to find something you need more, right? And that's where we find the motivation in our children and vision boards. All right, so I'm going to come around to workflow, and we're going to go over workflow. It's going to take a little bit of time, and I'd like you to interject. I'd like to ask questions as we go. There's a lot of you who are new here, and I want to run over with you something we call digital footprint, and I'm going to show it to you.
I'd like to say something really quick about energy. So why did you decide to join a team and not be an island as a realtor or a broker? Why? Why did you decide to join a team? Because subconsciously there's energy there.
Culture.
There's synergy, energy. So why do we ask you, get on the Zoom? Why do we require you to come to the trainings? Because it will create energy for you. When you collaborate with other agents, when you are more a part of the culture, when you invest yourself into what's going on in the culture, that is a way that creates energy for you and you don't realize you're creating it. It's automatic.
Yep.
So that's important. If you feel like you don't have energy, then plug in.
Yep.
And energy will come to you.
I couldn't agree more. And then that's why we do calls together too, guys. If you see that, if you do it alone, it's kind of daunting. It can be dull, but if you have 5, 6, 7 of you doing all calls, you're setting appointments, that's contagious. I always say success is contagious. It's a magnet. So is negativity. Negativity is also a magnet, right? So you got to choose what kind of energy space you want to be in. And if you see me, you'll see, especially on the phones, it's like I light up. Not to, toot my own horn, but I've had people say, like, it looks like you're acting or you're in a movie, right? And it's because I put myself in that mindset and that frame when I'm doing calls. So I project, especially over the phones, they can feel it. They can't see you over the phone. On a text message, they can't see you. On an email, they can't see you. That's why I'm so big on the calls, because you can feel the energy. They can feel if you're about it or not. If you're there to help them or if you're there to sell them on something. That's why I always push calls first and give them the energy, right? And that's going to help you with conversion.
Every single person in this room and every single person on this team. I'm looking at Frank. I'm looking at Letty. I'm looking at James. James could easily sell 50 homes next year. Angelica, you could easily sell 40 to 50 homes next year. Ty, you could easily sell realistically 25 homes next year. Teresa, you could sell 40 homes next year. It comes down to intelligence. You have it. Get some more from me. I'm not saying I'm more intelligent. I'm just more informed. Get that information and use it so you speak intelligently and hype up your energy 400%. Ramp up that energy. So all of these call sessions we have, all of these things that Blake's putting on, when you come on to Kathy's reveal, the energy you come with is what is going to measure the value of your business. How many of you want a valuable business?
Let's go.
Exactly. Energy. So I want to share with you that workflow is what I've learned to do. I did it pre-digital and post-digital. And I'm going to quickly run over this, and then we're going to go into exactly what I suggest you do every day. Would you like to know exactly what I would do if I were you? Would you like to know that?
Yes.
All right. So here we go. Our digital footprint is this. Just run through these slides really quickly. Can I see them here? All right. So let's have a quick look at this. So why a strong digital footprint matters. You're going to drive more appointments. You're going to build long-term relationships. And you're going to develop a business that works for you. Let's go to the next one. What is digital footprint? It's an intentional and trackable pattern of communication with clients where you build trust and drive appointments. Now, the question is this. Can your digital footprint be seen? Oh, Andrew, I'm a personal person. I like personal relationships. Yeah, but you're living in a digital world. So forget that excuse. Can your digital footprint be seen? This is exactly how we have gone from 20 people to however many hundreds of people are on the team all over California now, just like this. This is how we've gone from 20 people a day looking at our website to 2,000 people a day. And this is how we've done it. We drove traffic to the website through blogging and through other means. When you drive people to your URL, that is going to lead to push notifications when they interact. You're going to respond to the push notifications, and you're going to set appointments. If you set a second appointment, that's going to go to dollars. If you don't set a second appointment, you at least set up a property alert, and they're back to website traffic, back to notifications, back to agent responses. I want you all to take a picture of that. That is your business model right there. Now, if you do learn to rap, for God's sake, if you do learn to rap, use it to drive website traffic. Because unless you're going to get so much per view from YouTube, or unless you're going to sell a course that says how to be a rapping realtor, you've got to make money. How are you going to make money? You're going to make money by, God forbid, selling real estate. And when you sell real estate, you're now creating yourself a valuable business, because the minute you can't rap, your business has $0. But the minute you build a workflow that you have other people involved in your workflow, you can sell that business. So here we go again. Drive website traffic. So this is what Blake does. He does social media. He goes out on the social media. It drives traffic. The traffic comes through to his inbox. On his inbox, he goes to call nights. On call nights, he makes appointments. On appointments, he makes sales. And on sales, he generates revenue. And rinse and repeat. So this is your cycle. Drive traffic, whether you use social media, blogging like I do, or just right on my back. Website traffic leads to push notifications. So your push notifications are the heart of the business going forward. It is, and that to this piece here, this is the loop that we've missed. Notifications to response, notification to response, notification to response. I'm inviting you to change your mindset, particularly young people in this room. Change your mindset. It is not the business of the past where you time block. It's the business of the future. So this is what I call the circle of life. Okay? You can name it whatever you like. That's exactly how business runs in this company. Next. Own your digital footprint. Now, switch your mind from, oh my God, I got to go on to my follow-up boss. Oh my God, Andrew told me I got to do it. Oh my God, no, you got to switch out of that mindset and switch into the mindset that I want my stream to be a river. Therefore, I'm going to own my website traffic. I'm going to own the people who open emails. I'm going to check my new leads, and I'm going to set myself tasks and appointments so when I go into my follow-up boss, I can tap on calendar and I have a workflow. Oh, but Andrew, I was going to. Miss Teresa. I was so busy, and I went here at 8, and I went there at 10, and I went here at 2, and I went here at 4, and I promised I'm going to do it, right? They just looked at 19 homes at $1 million, right? So what you want to do in the midst of all your skill set, you want to own this so that you have a workflow. Now, if by July you don't have a VA, you are literally taking money, $100 bills, and just throwing it away. By July. I give you till July. Same for you. Stop relying on your husband. You are throwing this away until you own your workflow and hire somebody for a fraction of this so you can have tens of thousands of these. So you understand what I'm saying? In terms of calls, I watch him making the calls. Don't take offense by what I'm saying. I'm trying to help you, right? So he makes 1 million calls. What I'm saying to you is this. Listen carefully to me. When you develop a workflow and you own your workflow, now when you've owned it, you need somebody to run it, and that's where you're going to have a VA running your workflow. There's 2 reasons people don't hire a VA. 1, they don't have a big enough workflow. That's the main reason. They don't have a big enough workflow, or 2, they're afraid they don't have enough money. Why don't people have enough money to hire a VA? Because they didn't own their workflow. Own your workflow and bring people in that will cost you $6, $7 an hour to run that workflow. So, Teresa, by July, you will be saying, Andy, I went here at 10, I went there at 12, I went there at 2. By the way, my VA set 2 appointments. I'm going to them one of now at 6, and I'm going to another one at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning because I built such a circle of life that I have VAs setting appointments for me. My business runs on automatic pilot. How many of you would like to be in that place in a year? Right? What's it based on, Cliff? Intelligence and energy. Automation. Okay? Is everybody with me so far?
Yes.
Next. How to create your digital footprint connection, right? There are certain aspects you're going to use. Smart plans. How many people do you have on a smart plan? Color. I'm going to pick on you today because you're very talented. So it's like being one of my kids. I talk to you honestly. I don't just go, oh, you're so beautiful. How many people do you have on a smart plan? You don't know. How many people do you have on a smart plan? You don't know. How many people do you have on a smart plan? You don't know. How many people do you have on your insurance smart plan? I bet he knows the number down to a half a prospect. That's why his company's worth $10 million. How many of you could sell your business in this room for $10 million? See, he has a measured, controlled workflow. He hired people to run his workflow, and over the next few years, he'll sell that company for between $15 and $20 million because he has a workflow. So our workflow comes from the circle of life, generating the traffic, pushing the traffic to your website or IG. Your IG triggers ManyChat. You get a push notification. You have somebody watching your push notifications that answers them and sets an appointment. So when you come back at the end of the day, you got 2 appointments for tomorrow. How many of you in this room would like 2 appointments every day with buyers or sellers? Can I see a show of hands?
Minimum.
Right. That's energy, right? And that's intelligence. So smart plans are what run on in the background, right? Smart plans. Your second is your market reports. Your third is your city data, right? These are all advanced tools that we have. Go to the next one. What I want you to focus on right now is the most simple, which is, how many people do you have on a property alert? I keep picking on you, and I asked you to come now. I'm picking on you. That means you won't come again, right? How many people do you have on property alert, Richard? How many? 81. Very good. How many have on property alert, Doug? You got a ton. You got hundreds. How many do you have on property alert, Cliff? John? 53, right? Now, I will tell you something. If you want to sell 30 homes a year, you need a minimum of 500 people on property alerts. Write it down. You want to sell 25 homes a year, 2 a month, you want 500 people on property alerts. Andrew, how do I get 500 people? All you do is go to our site, click on leads, apply for blitz leads, get 50 a week, set them up on property alerts, give back the ones you don't want, and in 10 weeks, you got 500 people on property alerts. Right? How valuable are you? It depends on your what? Energy, which creates a workflow. So what I'm sharing with you here is a workflow. 500 leads, 50 at a time on property alerts. It takes 2 minutes to set them up. That means it takes 1,000 minutes to set up 500. What's 1,000 divided by 60? $15.6 hours. Is it worth 15.6? Is it worth 16.6 hours of your time to have 500 people on property alerts? So every day you have push notifications so you can pay a VA for $6 to set appointments for you while you're out running around showing appointments all day. Is it worth it to you? Then why wouldn't you do it tomorrow? Right? So Lorena and Cameron, everybody online, you need to plug into the Blitz Leads mechanism that's on our website. We'll make sure that you get groups of 50 leads, and 10 days from now, 12 days from now, you're going to have 500 people on property alerts, and you're going to have business up the wazoo. Everybody understand? This is workflow. You want to be valuable, create a workflow. So when you have these people on property alerts, every property alert is set up on a push notification. Then it's up to you to nurture and create direct contact. How do you do that? With screenshots, right? Now, again, you drive somebody to your site through your property alert. They see the property alert. You get a push notification. You see it on your cell phone. The push notification comes up. You screenshot that notification. You send it back out to them, and now you are engaged with them. Right? By the way, there's not one person in this entire company that engages with more than 10% of their clients. So now you got to ask yourself, why? So let me ask you the question, why is it that nobody in this company answers more than 10% of push notifications? Why is that? All right? Answer the question with me, which can you see online? Why is it that 90% of people will not answer a client when they raise their hand and say they're interested in a home? Be honest with me. Why is it? Okay, I'm going to be generous. It could be because you feel, oh, shoot, they probably want to rent. Oh, shoot, it's probably because they're not qualified yet. But if you have 500 of them, are you really telling me that all 500 are not qualified? That none, do you realize if we put 500 people across the street right there? Let me ask you a question. If there were 500 people across the street right there, and they all raised a sign and said, interested in real estate, how many of you would leave this meeting and go across and talk to them? Every single one of you. Because what are the chances out of those 500 that none of them can buy a house? 0. But because we don't create a workflow, we think, oh my gosh, if I can just say something like that, and then like that, and this like that, and then it'll want to be it, and I can want to have it, and I can be a car, and I'll get a Lamborghini, let's go. If I can just do that, I'll be rich. No. You need to assemble 500 people who are looking at real estate in your workflow. How many of you can look at me right now and say, Andrew, I'm 100% happy with my workflow? How many of you would look at me and say, Andrew, you are intelligent. I want a workflow like that. How many of you feel that? Let me see. Yes.
I just want to mention something. Get to the root of maybe why you don't have a workflow. What he says is great. Sounds great, right? But many of us are stuck below that. I don't have the self-confidence to start a workflow. I don't have the good mindset or the good self-talk to start the workflow. So plug in, right? Many of us think, I can do a workflow. I can't do a workflow. We hold ourselves back because there's something before the workflow even happens that we need to trigger our minds to say, yes, I can do that before we actually step into doing that. So plug in. That's all you have to do. And then what Andrew talks about becomes easier and become more confident. And you're like, yes, I can do that because you're plugged in, you're sharing with each other, you're collaborating, you're praising each other, you're working yourselves up.
Yeah, there's confidence in collaboration, guys. So
Yes.
when we say join in, plug in,
Got
there's
it.
confidence in collaboration. That's why we do these things. I mean, can I do calls on my own? Absolutely. I don't need anybody there with me.
It's fun.
But what's just not as fun and it's not as contagious, right? And when I see that, hey, people show up, I'm like, well, shoot, now I gotta do appointments. Like I'm motivated. Or I hear Mariana just opened an escrow. I'm happy for her, but like now I want to open an escrow, right? And having that environment, it's contagious, right? So yeah, I 100% agree with what Andrew and Annette are saying here when it comes to confidence, right? Confidence comes from collaboration. Confidence comes from culture, right? If you hear me speak on the phone with my clients, I tell them when we're going on the meetings, hey, after this meeting, you're going to get the 3 C's. You're going to feel more comfortable, you're going to gain more clarity, and you're going to be more confident with the process. I guarantee you. And every single one of them, as soon as I'm done, they're super excited and super happy that they met with me. Every single one.
So with this team, again, and this is something that's confused me, right? I thought, oh my gosh, all I have to do is provide a massive funnel and people will build rivers. Instead, we have, of course, there's more people who come than go, but people go, sometimes it's ego. But so few say I want a river. Actually, maybe everybody says I want a river, but so many few actually build a river.
Not about it.
And it's like I'm sitting here with this gold bar and I'm saying, would you please take it from me? And I'm trying to persuade you to take the gold bar. That's the piece I don't really get. Now, I've come to this conclusion that it's probably because I'm too old and you find me either too strong or you find me too plain, and so you don't connect. So we're bringing in younger people. Now we'll try that too. That we have younger people now communicating to you in a language you can understand, but it doesn't change the fact it's intelligence and energy that's going to build your business. So maybe people leave because they're like, well, Andrew's now is in his 60s and he really doesn't understand where I'm coming from. Because there is no logical reason why you would sit at home when you know somebody like me. It's like saying you're lonely and you've got a woman like this asking you on a date. Why would you be lonely if somebody like this is asking you on a date? Well, either because your self-image is so low or you're afraid she's too expensive, which she is. But I'm teasing. But why would you stay at home? Why would you be happy? Why would you let your ego take over when you've literally got a gold bar sitting in front of you? So we currently have, as of today, 93,186 people we haven't sold a home to. So if you could literally pick up 50 of these a day, pay a VA to set them up on property alerts, get push notifications activated, and just watch your phone blow up, why would you not do it? What is the answer to that question? And it's that it's just so hard for me to understand. So we're going to bring in younger people. Because clearly, between Kathy and I, we've not been able to convince you. We love you. We care about you. We have not been able to convince you. Kathy pours in 6 hours a week in Reveal. And yet we've not been able to convince you that what I did and became a millionaire doing, we've not been able to convince you you can do it as well. And that, when I go to sleep at night, that torments me. So now we're really trying to find what is that. And maybe it's younger presentation. Having said all of that, at the end of the day, whether Jeff Bezos, you like him or not, you like his new wife or not, it's not relevant. What's relevant is he set up a workflow. And his workflow was drop ship, bring on a whole ton of people, build huge warehouses, put malls out of business, and deliver goods by trucks coming and going and dropping stuff off at people's houses. And he built up a workflow. The workflow of real estate is this. The real estate highway is on two things, social media and on the web. We're on both. So you're going to build a highway. What are you going to do with it when you built that highway? And that highway is what we operate here. Is everybody with me?
100%.
Now I want to show you exactly on a daily basis. Can I see online? If you want to hear another 10 minutes from me of how I would do this every day from my cell phone, can I see online? You just say yes. Can you hold this for me?
Yes.
Yes.
Also, I want to add to that, Andrew. I don't think age plays a factor, and I'm a big.
I agree.
I refuse to believe that. I've had an uphill battle all my life being a younger leader. So it doesn't matter if you're younger or older. Andrew probably knows more about AI than a lot of the young people that are on the team.
Yes.
And you would think the opposite, right? Just that's how you're socially programmed, right? So it's not, as long as you get rid of that. I think, Andrew, when you're asking, hey, what's the disconnect? There's a golden bar. Why are they not taking it? I firmly believe it's a self-limiting belief. I think there's something internal. It's an internal thing first, that they are not 100% sold internally, that they either deserve what they want or that it's even possible that they can obtain it. I think it's that the biggest obstacle is themselves. Sometimes that obstacle is just a self-limiting belief. And I used to have the same self-limiting belief. And for those of you guys that know me, obviously, I've had my ups and downs in my life. And, my wife one day, she told me, she's like, hey, stop being so negative. You're speaking this negativity into, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm just being real. I'm just being realistic, right? This is just.
That is Andrew to the T.
And I'm like, well, but it's just the truth. I mean, it is what it is. And she's like, no, stop that. You need to be able to speak the positive and it'll come to you. And I used to think manifestation and these affirmations were all kind of BS. I'm just going to say it how it is because I was like, it's just hard work and grit. It's just hard work and grit. And she's like, no, you need have that self-talk. Look yourself in the mirror. Create that energy. Create the positivity. Throw that out there and you'll attract more of that. So after a while of me just beating, myself over the head, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna look in the mirror and I'm gonna start saying positive things to myself, right? I got my daughter to start doing it with me. Hey, start saying positive things to yourself. Now my daughter, she's 7 years old and she's in the group with her friends and her cousins and she's saying, you guys can do anything. I hope you guys know that. And she's telling them, she's like, one of her cousins like, I can't do this. And she's like, what are you talking about? You can do anything that you put your mind to, right? So I think my family, my wife and my kids are the biggest inspiration on that. So if you guys have that self-limiting belief, I just say, obviously I've been there, done that. I'm free to talk to you guys and kind of clear that up or just look in the mirror and just really deep down and figure out why you don't think you deserve that. And I do see it's more common, and I'm not trying to single anybody out or age groups out. I see it more commonly with anybody, and I'm not going to maybe I won't put a number on it. The older people, I'm not going to put a number on it, typically have the lower self-belief or the belief of success, especially if they haven't seen it yet. They are like, it's too late. I'm already too old. I'll be okay if I can do 20 deals. I'll be okay if I do 12. If I could just do 5 deals this year, I'm okay. And the aspiration has gone because they've had so much reality in their life that they can't see themselves. They can't even fathom it, right? So that's why I think it is there. So it's just, guys, I don't know what it is. Have somebody look at videos, look at motivation stuff. I mean, really try to get out of your own head, step out of your own way, and just think. Like the biggest thing for me was think of myself. Would I hire myself to do what I want to do? Right? Would I hire myself to operate in my business? And the
About me like that.
yeah, it's the truth, guys. I've been there. The reason I'm not saying because I've been there. It's not a speculation. I've been down in the dumps. I've been at the lowest. And the beautiful thing, if you guys are in the low and you guys are like, there's no way out, or you're losing hope or belief, the beautiful thing about hitting rock bottom is that there's only one way left to go, and that's up. So if you got those self-limiting beliefs, don't have them anymore. And I'm here to, one, obviously I'm here for sales and all that stuff, but I want to see you guys grow and succeed as individuals. So if you ever just want to, shoot the shit and grab lunch and grab beer and talk about things, I'm more than happy to do so.
So let me, 1,000. Yeah, let's hear it for Blake. Thank you. Can you guys hear me online? Can everybody hear me online? Yes? Online,
Yes.
can everybody hear me? Yes? Okay. So I'm going to show you now very, very granular. Going to take 10 minutes. Then we got a number of things to share with you, okay? This is our time to fill up your tank for the week. You're all getting leads. You're all getting opportunity,
Yes.
right? We believe these leads are convertible because we've converted hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. So energy, intelligence, and here's just practical. Can you all see my screen? Yes.
Yes.
So Annette is doing a class on Thursday on vision boards, by the way, for ladies in Orange County. Is it just ladies?
It's all.
All, but it's going to be probably primarily ladies. Vision board. Join her on Thursday. In the afternoon on Thursday, I'm doing a training at somebody in our group, Sandra. She's bringing agents who want to learn exactly how to do digital footprint and how to use digital footprint on a daily basis.
We'll show you the flyers towards the end. You get the information.
I'm doing that on Thursday. This is going to be a very, very quick overview. And I want to express to you guys, I am not showing you something that I think is a good idea. I am offering you a business that by July, Angelica, Teresa, Color, Sherry, many of you in this room, Cliff, for sure, can have a totally, please, you sitting on the edge. Martin, you have the skill. You could have an entirely different business. You have to believe in yourself that you can do it. I know it. I see the skills in you. You just simply have to. This is a business model. So you're going to operate your workflow entirely from yourself. Now, you can back it up with a desktop. You're going to operate it from your cell phone. Young, you're going to operate this. Oh, you're going to operate this from your cell phone. You're going to back it up with your desktop. And it's very, very simple. Just take control of your workflow. So all of that about, oh my gosh, Annette was saying, I don't have enough confidence to build the workflow. We've built it for you. Just take them 50 at a time. Take 100 at a time. Young, if you say, I want 200 leads to put on property alerts this week, by 12 o'clock, you'll have. Where in the real estate world can you hear that?
Nowhere.
Right?
Very few places.
So I would have thought that we would just be besieged with people then asking. I'm going to ask you the question again, why aren't we? And I think Blake's right. It's limiting belief.
Yep. 1,000%. That's
right.
That's all it is.
So let's believe more because we've got the stuff here ready for you. It's almost like somebody in the middle of a tundra somewhere and they're dying slowly of lack of food and malnutrition. And there's a huge 45-foot truck full of food. And the person says, it's just so much work to open the doors. And I tried it once and I dropped a box. And I tried it again and I couldn't find any food that I liked. And they just die of malnutrition.
Yep.
Two of the largest teams in San Diego just merged. Why? People don't merge when they're succeeding. Teams don't merge when they're killing it. they're out there flaunting it, saying how big they are. But the minute you feel a pinch, that's when mergers happen. That's the history of business in the United States. So it's been a bloody tough time. Why don't we just be real with each other? Like I'm saying, be real with buyers and say, you know what, I just absolutely sucked for a few years. And instead of scampering away to a corner, I'm going to believe in myself and close $1 million deal in Escondido. And I'm going to believe in myself over and over again. And I want to build a workflow. And I'm going to show you my work. Very, very simple. Pull the leads from us, set them up on property. Property alerts lead to notifications. You have 2 icons, 3 on your home screen. This is it. You have your follow-up boss icon, you have your lofty icon, and you have your website icon. Website is the website we provide for you through Lofty. Right here. There's your follow-up boss icon. There's your lofty icon. There's your Go WP Now icon. Every day you wake up, you go to follow-up boss. You go to the bottom left-hand corner here.
Activity.
And you tap on activity. Doesn't every business want to know who's active in their business? This is the heart of your business. Look at the top of the screen. New leads, emails, website. You have 3 lists. Top left is all the new leads you just got in. In the center is all the people who opened email. Do you know that every single month we have 45,000 people minimum opening email? Do you know how many of those get called? Less than 400. 45,000 people open an email from us every month. You have access to them. I mean, Keller, you run businesses. Isn't your brain going, oh my God, if I could just call a few of those and have people call them at $6 an hour, I could probably do 20 sales a month. That's actually what we're sitting on right now. So now let's come back to you. You start every day. You say, okay, I'm going to go to the home screen. I'm going to go to follow-up boss. I'm going to touch on follow-up boss. And I'm going to look at who's my new leads, who's opened email, who's looking at property. That simple.
How long did that take Andrew to do?
That's it.
How long was that?
Next thing you do is you're going to drop to the bottom, look at the bottom in the control tab, and it says calendar. You're going to tap on calendar. And in calendar, it tells you every client that you're working with. It tells you every client you've set a task or an appointment. Why do you think I say, Teresa, make sure you always tap on the plus icon and add a task? Because at the start of every day, you can completely organize yourself. Now, look, I really like a special person. But I know you feel scattered probably every day. So what I'm giving you here is a gold bar saying you are talented. Hello, you run businesses. You are a skilled business woman. Giving you the model. So every time that you take 45 seconds when you've done something with a client and you add on a future task, you will never forget them again. It's like running a retail store. And every person who ever comes into your store, you're allowed to put a digital tag on them. And wherever they go, you're going to be reminded to contact them. How many of you think retailers would like that? Everybody who goes into Macy's, you can actually get a digital tag on them. It's hugely valuable. But Macy's, all the Macy's are going to be closed in the next 20 years. All the Nordstroms are going to be closed. All of those stores are going to be gone. You all understand how big this is, right? So now you've got the ability to tag everybody. Why would you not do that? So you're going to tag them with a task. So every person that you talk to, you're going to tag them with a task. Bottom right-hand corner, tap on the plus, and it says right there, send text, send email, add person, add task. Tap on add task, and you title the task at the top. Second, follow-up. It's not all day. Take that off. It's not today at 12. You want to do it on Thursday at 12. You assign it to yourself. You hit create, right? So, sorry, right here, assign to, and I'm going to assign it to one of the clients right there. And now you create it at the top. You've now created a task. So every day, watch this. Every day you go to your home screen. I know what you guys do. I watch you in our trainings. I'm trying to share intelligence with you, and you're answering a call from somebody that can damn well wait. So you run your lives from this. But you run it the wrong way. This is not a telephone. I want you to listen to me. Anybody online listening to me still? What did I just say? This is not a telephone. My generation saw this as a telephone. You should see this as your workflow control tool that gets interrupted by phone calls. Our generation, well, your generation below. Our generation, Angelica, did not. Derek's generation, one of the best people I've ever seen. We saw this as a phone. What kids see this as is a tool to make money. You have to see it that way. The calls are just an invasion on your privacy. So you're looking for push notifications. You're looking to control your workflow right here. So every day you come in, you look at your follow-up boss, you tap on it. You tap on follow-up boss, you look at your activity channel. And come to my class on Thursday, and I'll tell you what to do when you see these people. You look at your new leads, you look at your emails, you look at your website, you look at all the people. And here we go. Literally, months from now, you can have the same as I have right here for the company. 6 minutes, 10 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 11 minutes, 13 minutes. And if I tapped on every single one of these people who in the last 15 minutes has looked at property, I guarantee you only 10% of them will have a digital. Only 10% of them will have somebody go, oh, look, they're looking at property. That's really cool. Hey, thanks for coming to Macy's. Before you leave, we've got discounts on these pants. Would you like these pants? And that's what you're doing. The minute you see them on here, you screenshot it, you send out that screenshot, you're alerting them. You send out a blog, you're alerting them. So here you go. Activity, there's your calendar, push notification. Here's your people, and there's more that I can teach. So every day, come to your desktop. Excuse me, not your desktop, your home screen. Go to your follow-up boss. Look at your activity channel. Start contacting the people that are on your website. Go to calendar, go to people, and I'll teach you exactly how to do it. This is workflow. What did Gene say? To be valuable, you need intelligence, you need energy. Now, muster up that energy. You've got integrity. Yep. I don't even worry about it. Do I worry about Teresa's integrity? Not for a second. Color's integrity? Not for a second. Blake's integrity? Not for a second. I don't worry about integrity at all. A few people, but we let them go. I don't worry about Felicia's integrity, not for a second. I worry about your energy. I worry about your workflow. If you will see this from me, please don't spend $49.99 on some course online that their workflow. Do you know what with courses? With people who sell courses, they know that 98.6% of people will never use the course. So what's their workflow? Buy ads, push the course. Most people won't do anything, collect their $49, buy a car. That's their workflow. Everybody who sells you a course, that's their workflow because they know you won't do it. Our workflow is come here 7 days a week, invest $80,000 a month, hire managers, hire ISAs, build a website, issue blogs, negotiate with Dinero, negotiate with Zillow, negotiate with Realtor.com. Revenue share with people, buy a building, pay for the building, pay for all the infrastructure, encourage, motivate, and teach, and share intelligence. And that will produce a net, which, by the way, is less than I would make if I sold property myself. But I like the idea of doing this across the country. You've now heard it for 2 years. You could sit there and go, well, you haven't done it. Well, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You know why? Because I don't have limiting self-belief. So I'm asking you again, guys, you have a gold bar in your hands. Go get your 500 property alerts. Go get your 500 leads. Go set them up. Believe in yourself. Look at your push notifications. For God's sake, hire somebody and have them set appointments for you. And I'll be looking at business women 6 months from now, not just bloody good real estate.
A lot to unpack there.